Former Pittsburgh Steelers running back LeVeon Bell just said that he would like to play a couple games for the Pittsburgh Steelers and return this season. So, LeVeon Bell, recently he's been in the news talking about making a comeback to the NFL, and just recently he said that the Steelers, he would like to play with them this season and show people he still has it. Here's his full quotes. "We'll see what I do with Pittsburgh. I might as well come back for a preseason game just to show people I got juice. It's literally just to show y'all, like, bro, I'm better than I was in 2016. He continues on saying, "I would be so blazing if I was to hit the field right now. I might have to hit up Coach T or something." Well, now let's be completely honest. Let's look at his stats and everything that he talked about, and let's kind of recap it. Let's recap 2016 he mentioned. He said he would be better than that season. In all honesty, in that season, that was probably his second or third best season with the Steelers. He played in 12 games, rushed for 1,268 yards, and 7 touchdowns. There's no way at this age right now that he could really be as good as that season, because just looking at how he ended his career so far, even though his career might not be done, he's hinting at a return, but just looking at his last team he played for the Baltimore Ravens, and then before that, he played with New York Jets and Kansas City, so his time, he hasn't really been good, really, since he left Pittsburgh. He signed a huge contract, obviously, when he kind of sat out that season in 2018 because of a contract dispute. He sat out, then he signed a big contract in 2019, but since then, his season and his career didn't go as expected, but mainly because he wasn't given the same opportunities as he was in his final years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, when he was drafted with the Steelers, he was that main guy and the Steelers' workhorse back, but going to a new team, he was kind of splitting carries or not getting the same opportunities as he would in the receiving game and all of that with the Jets. And then he obviously had a dispute with them, left, and then joined new teams, and ever since that, he's kind of been out of the NFL. So, returning to the Pittsburgh Steelers, yes, you could say to show people you still have it, but there's no way that you're really as good as you were back in 2017. But I can see why he's saying that, because he has been training in boxing, so he's kind of keeping up his cardio, he's keeping up being in shape, and I guess because you have to be light on your feet in boxing and you have to be able to move around good, he feels as though he's still athletic enough to return to the NFL, and obviously he's going to hype himself up. There's no reason for him to say that he wouldn't be as good as he was in 2016, because then you just wouldn't be getting any opportunities. But maybe because he's kind of hinting at a return and he's kind of trying to hype himself up, he's kind of hoping that there'll be opportunities to return to the NFL. There might be, there may be not, but we'll see. And now, let's be even more honest. The Steelers, ever since Bell left, they've had their guy. They had James Conner. That worked out for a little bit, but then he was too injury prone, so the Steelers moved on to Najee Harris. So they really found their guy right now in Najee Harris. Some might not like the way he runs because he's not as quick. He's more of a power back, but they still have their guy, and they also have another guy in Jaylen Warren. So right now they have a 1-2 punch, and the Steelers don't need LeVeon Bell to return to the team. Yes, it would be good if he could return as a number 3 running back and not have like a big ego about it and have limited touches, maybe just in case someone gets injured or something like that. But I'm sure that's not what he wants to do. If he's going to return, I'm sure he doesn't want to play the same role he played with the Kansas City Chiefs, barely getting any touches, the same role he played with the Ravens, barely doing anything, and the Jets as well. That's why he left the NFL. That's why he had disputes with each of those teams, because he wasn't getting the attention and the touches that he wanted since he left Pittsburgh. I'm sure if he returns, he wouldn't want to be in that same role again because he's focused on the boxing career. And if he returns, I'm sure he would want to have a bigger role. But let's be real, the Steelers don't need him to return, and we kind of moved away from that ever since Big Ben retired. All of the killer bees have left the Steelers, and the Steelers fans have moved off of that era for Pittsburgh, and right now it's a new era of young guys, people without egos, or at least not big egos as we see right now on the offense, and kind of new blood in there. So we don't need him, but if he could return without that ego and stuff like that, sure, number 3 running back, but more than likely he won't. Obviously, he says he would like to get some games in the preseason to show teams he still has it, show them he could be the number 1 running back on a team. He also went on to say this. Here's his final quote. I wouldn't want to come back unless I'm the guy, because I know I can be the guy. And I know like where I'm at physically. I watch guys, I would train with guys that's 24, 25, 23 years old. And yeah, they're still not up to my speed because I'm just the best physical form that I've been in since before I was 24, 25 years old. So basically in that last quote, he admits to what I was just saying before. He wants to be the guy. He doesn't want to play that role that he played with the Jets, played with the Kansas City Chiefs, played with the Ravens. He wouldn't want to come here and be the third running back behind Jalen Warren, behind Najee Harris. He wants to be the guy, and I just can't see a real opportunity that an NFL team at 31 years old is really going to give him to be the guy. Yes, he may be given opportunity to split carries, but I barely even doubt that. I barely doubt that he'll ever get an opportunity back in this league, but who knows? Maybe he'll have Mike Tomlin, and Mike Tomlin likes him enough to give him an opportunity in the preseason to let him show out and compete. Who knows? Let's see what he brings to the table, maybe to Mike Tomlin, but I doubt it. I'm not taking anything away from him. That era of football with Antonio Brown, LeVeon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger, that was a great time. Even though they didn't really accomplish much in terms of Super Bowls, it was really good football and really fun to watch those three compete on the field and see Le'Veon Bell do his thing. But it's time to move on, I believe, and the Steelers are well past that. As of right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a battle going on in training camp, OTAs, and all of that for that third running back spot. And now they're going to have a battle soon going on in the preseason to see who's going to earn that third running back spot on the team. They have a top two running backs in Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, but the third running back spot is wide open with Anthony McFarland Jr., who's been on the team for a while, and Alfonso Graham, undrafted free agent rookie, coming in. Those two are going to be battling out, and just imagine if Le'Veon Bell's battling out for that third running back spot. That third running back spot's wide open, and let's see who earns that. So now let's move on to the next topic. 2 days ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they signed two guys. They signed an inside linebacker, and they also signed a long snapper. And I said that they left the 91-man roster, and they had to get that down to 90. So just yesterday, the Steelers released Anthony Miller. So Anthony Miller was a guy who came in from the Chicago Bears, but his first season with the Steelers, he missed it because he was injured. So he was on injury reserve the whole year. And then this training camp, this OTAs, he was injured with a hamstring injury. Yes, he got back from that hamstring injury. The Steelers decided to release him just yesterday, and now he'll look to sign with a different team. Miller, now he's 28 years old. He joined the Steelers, like I said, in 2021. He only played in one game as a practice squad elevation, and then he re-signed with the team in 2022. And like I said, injury ended his season. So with Miller, the writing was on the wall. Because the Steelers are so deep at the wide receiver position, they have so many guys, so much talent there, that it was going to be very hard for him to make the team. And people saw him as a slot receiver, but now the Steelers really solved that issue on their team. They have guys like Allen Robinson who could play the slot, Kelvin Austin who's looking to have a healthy season and get back and be the slot receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers for future years to come. And Miller is probably best for him now that maybe he could sign with a different team because it was going to be very hard for him to make the Steelers roster anyway. And now it just gives him an extra step, maybe heading into a different team, having that early lead into training camp and being on the team in training camp and having preseason as well with a different team, trying to make a different team's roster. Because if he wasn't going to make the Steelers roster and he was going to get cut right before the season starts, he wouldn't be able to make another roster probably because he wasn't going to be able to play on that team, and maybe they would want to sign some guy who's already played with them, knows the playbook. So with him being released now, gives him the extra chance to know a different team's playbook if he does sign and get a head start with a different team. So I believe this is the best case scenario for him because it was going to be hard for him to make the roster anyway. However, Anthony Miller, when he was healthy with the Chicago Bears from 2018 to 2020, he played in 47 games and made 17 starts for the team. he caught 134 passes for 1,564 yards. That's actually really good. That's a lot of yards per reception, and also 11 touchdowns. So he averaged 7.3 yards per target in 2021 as well. And now, him moving on, hopefully he's able to get back to that self and help a different team and get back to the high level play that he was at before he left the Bears and before he suffered all these injuries and missed these last couple of seasons. Hopefully he's able to move on and be a strong candidate to have a starting job with a different team now at wide receiver. I wish him all the best. So, with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about these two topics that I covered in this video today? About Le'Veon Bell's comments about potentially returning and kind of hitting up Mike Tomlin, saying give him some snaps in the preseason and then show that he still has it. Do you believe that he still has it? Would you want him to return as a Pittsburgh Steeler and kind of get some touches as a third running back or show if he still has it? Or do you believe that Bus has kind of left the station and kind of stay away and it's a new era for the Pittsburgh Steelers? And also, how do you feel about Anthony Miller being released? Did you want him to make the team? Did you want him to be released? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you like Steelers content and analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well so you get notified whenever I post an next Steelers video. I cover everything Pittsburgh Steelers and I've been posting videos almost every day covering everything news, rumors, all the new guys we signed, all the new guys we drafted, traded for, their introductions, all the new players that are on the channel. Go ahead and watch it and everything moving forward into training camp in Latrobe, into the preseason, into the regular season, repeating the whole cycle. I cover it all. This is the best place for Steelers news and keeping up to date with Steelers football. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.